What's going on, guys? Chad here with Greenlight Shooting, and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking duty belts. Now, these are belts specifically designed if you work in the line of duty. If you're a police officer, if you're a security officer, if you're anything like that, you're going to be wearing a very robust, sturdy belt to hold all of your gear, your guns, your tasers, your cuffs, your extra mags, your flashlights, all of that stuff has to live on these belts. And listen, until now, they haven't been the greatest. Duty belts, for the most part, work on either Velcro or belt holes, which never quite fit right, especially with all your gear on there, and they're just not comfortable. So, Core has released a new duty belt, and my goodness, have they knocked this thing out of the park. This is the world's very first micro-adjustable duty belt. So before we get into the adjustability, which is really the biggest selling point of this thing, let's talk a little bit about the specs. First of all, it is a 2¼ inch width right here, and it is made of a super sturdy material called ArmorTech that is proprietary to Core. It's also manufactured in the USA, which is very cool, but it is made of materials that you just won't find on any other duty belts. It's got a dual belt system here. Both are extremely rigid for a ton of stability. This thing's calling out a 30-pound load capacity. And finally, it's kind of a one-size-fits-all. You buy this thing, you cut it to size, which we'll go over a little bit later in the video, but it'll fit sizes 24 to 48 inches in waist. Now let's jump into the real meat here, the micro adjustability of this. So first of all, watch this. You hear that? So on the back here is a track system. You can kind of see right there, that is basically like, it's a ratchet. It's built on 1/4 inch increments, and you have 20 of those adjustments. So as you can imagine, you've got your belt on, you want to tighten it a little bit. It's that simple. If you want to let it out, if you're going to sit in the car for a long time, if you just ate, whatever, you can just depress these two tabs here, pull this out, and adjust in, once again, those 1/4 inch increments. But here's the question. This is just the outer belt. How does that actually work with an inner belt? Because traditionally, while wearing a duty belt, like I said, you've got tons of accessories on this thing. You're not trying to thread this through your belt holes. So they are still utilizing a dual belt system. So this is the inner belt right here. It's got soft Velcro on the outside. You're gonna thread this through your belt loops, Velcro together, and then this secret little mesh spot on the front here, this is where the magic is happening. As you can see, I can compress this or expand this like a couple inches. So you should be getting like 4 to 5 inches of playability when you're adjusting your belt. How this works, once again, you put this through your belt loops, soft Velcro. On the inside of this outer belt, you have hard Velcro right here. So this outer belt would just Velcro over this inner belt, over your belt loops, lock this thing into place, insert this belt in. The dual belt system allows you to basically lock this down as much as you need, and you can see what's happening is that mesh is just kind of compressing it on itself. So you can't feel that at all, but it's giving you the ability to micro adjust your belt tighter. If you want to go looser, you just hit these two tabs, come out a little bit. You have 4 to 5 inches of adjustability on your waist. And then let's talk about these buckles, man. So the buckles, like I said, are the actual ratchet part that combine with the track line. But these things are very heavy duty, but still lightweight. That's what I like about them. They're very well made. They are made of a lightweight aluminum, so they feel super robust, like very durable. You don't have to worry about hurting these things at all. But the thing I like about these is, traditionally on Core's gun belts, they have a single tab release, and that is how you disengage the ratchet. Well, when you're in a dangerous job, you might be in situations where someone is trying to forcibly remove your gear from your belt. So they've actually doubled this up. So this is a dual release system, and they are independent of each other, as you can see. So you have to depress both of those simultaneously to be able to remove this way before the belt will come off your waist. So you're extremely well protected from someone trying to forcibly remove your belt. It comes in 3 different options. First of all, you've got this basket weave right here. You've got just a normal black leather, and then you also have this nylon, a little bit more tactical look as well. So I want to show you guys how easy it is to actually set these up to your waist size. So first up, you're going to need an inner belt like I showed with the soft Velcro, and then an outer belt. So we'll take this nylon one here. I'm going to set this soft Velcro one off to the side. We'll work with the long one first. They come with this special little measuring tape that is set up for these belts. One end you can see obviously has the track line, the other one does not. So we want to obviously cut the one that does not. So we're going to take this measuring tape, line it up with the end with the track line, and then you want to measure this to your pant size. So for me, I wear 32-inch pants, so I'm going to take this all the way over to find 32. Maybe I can spin here a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but line that up. 32 is right there. So I'm just going to cut this belt right at that 32 mark. A little pro tip, by the way, get yourself some really nice heavy-duty scissors for this cut. You can do it with a knife or whatever. It just makes the cut a little bit cleaner and easy to use. So I like to use these really heavy-duty shears. Cut those off, and boom. So you can see a really pretty clean cut. You can singe some of those little extra fibers if you need. Next up, we're gonna take a buckle. We have two different options for the duty belt buckles. I'm gonna go with the solid one here. And then on the underside, you can see there's actually a little flip here with some teeth. So you're actually gonna insert this end over that side of the belt that we just cut. Flip this flap closed, so those teeth are going to sink into the belt itself to hold it in place. And then finally, you have two hex screws that'll really, really lock everything down. So I'm going to back those hex screws out first and put my buckle on the side of the belt that I just cut. Slides right over, just like that. And then once again, I'm going to close this flap, lock those teeth into place, and it's already super sturdy. I'm gonna wait to lock these down to make sure that everything fits. Next up, I've got my soft inner belt here. I'm gonna extend this out to make sure that I'm measuring from this side, because once again, obviously we don't wanna cut off the mesh side, because that's where the magic is. So I'm gonna take my measuring tape, and once again, measure from the end with the hex. The one difference with this inner belt is rather than cutting at our pant size, we're actually going to cut 1 inch less. So if you remember, I cut at 32. So I'm going to line this up. There's a 31 right there, and that is where I want to cut my inner belt. Very, very clean, nice cut. Because that cut is going to be exposed, I want to make sure that I singe that off and make that as clean and neat as possible. And when you put this on, you want to make sure that like when it fits around your waist, that it doesn't sort of overlap into the mesh right here. You would basically trim this off. You want that to be kind of a perfect fit, exposing the entirety of that mesh section so you get as much adjustability as possible. Inner belt here, I'm going to thread this side through first. And then if we did this right, this should line up perfectly. So you see how all of that mesh is exposed right there? That is exactly what we want to see. Then we'll take the outer belt here. I'm going to line up the buckle right over the center of that mesh pattern, and then start taking this all the way around my back here. And then as you can see, there's that mesh pattern. So as I tighten and loosen this buckle, that will actually compress and expand. So right there is where it probably fits on me pretty well. If I wanted to tighten that more, I could just really lock that down. If I wanted to, if I'm gonna be in a car or something, I'm sitting down, if I just, need to loosen it for any reason, I can hit those two tabs and bring it out to literally right here. And I have tons and tons of room and comfort and things like that. And it's still extremely sturdy if I had guns on here and whatever accessories I needed. I get out of that car, all I do is hit that, and I'm back ready to roll. Now, it was kind of hard to see while standing up, but you may have noticed a little tail sticking out right here, which obviously doesn't look super professional. So they do have keepers as well. You can see there's just two little buttons on there. So basically you would just throw that over, and then on the back side, button up both, and then it looks very, very professional. Last touch, once you confirm everything fits, is we're just gonna lock down those hex screws and sink those things into the belt itself. There we have it. This is the world's first micro-adjustable duty belt made by Core. I've worn their stuff forever. You literally saw me take off my Core belt to put this on right now. Like, that is how much I use these things. Track system, very innovative. Dual belt system, very innovative. Made for people that use guns. That's what I like about it. These things are not just like belts that we're sort of making work in our industry. These are belts designed specifically for our industry. So I think they knocked it out of the park. Hope you guys do as well. If you do, go check them out. Go send them some love. Tell them Green Light sent you. And that's all I've got for you guys today. So Core duty belts, go check them out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.